Next, we have a speaker who is coming to us also by video, Ms. Kathleen Griffith, who is the lead person in global health of the United Methodist General Board of Global Ministries, long active as a member of the Global AIDS Committee of the United Methodist Church, a native of Zimbabwe, a former missionary in Central Asia. She is in the forefront of the church's effort both on HIV and COVID-19. So now we turn to her.
Warm greetings from Atlanta, and thank you so much for asking me to participate in this workshop. I pray for grace, peace, and the ability for each one of us here today to connect effectively with our neighbors, with our communities, and with our brothers and sisters around the world. I look forward to listening to and hearing from each presenter and learning about their context as we realize the drastic impact that COVID-19 is having on progress to limit and to stop HIV. Who is the most impacted by COVID-19? It seems a silly question to ask because we all are, but certainly some are more affected than others. In my role at Global Ministries, I work with maternal, newborn, and child health, HIV and AIDS, and here in the United States with a non-communicable disease portfolio. I'm struck by the common vulnerabilities around the world. Higher rates of pre-existing conditions, overrepresentation in frontline and essential worker jobs, unequal access to quality health care and insurance, and life lived in hyper-segregated or at-risk neighborhoods like informal settlements, places often with minimum services or reduced services. This is also a time of overlapping and dueling pandemics: HIV, domestic violence, high mother and child mortality rates, waterborne disease, malnutrition. All of these exist at the same time and are impacted not only by COVID-19 infection, but by the lockdown, the myths, the fears and stigma that surround it, along with the social and economic impacts. So what is Global Ministries' response? As you know, our programming takes the form of grants. As the pandemic took hold, Global Ministries created a special fund or advance called the Sheltering in Love Advance. It is for specific stand-alone COVID-19 grants. At the same time, the Global Health Unit, where I work, has continued its regular health programming, but has integrated COVID-19 interventions into all grants. If you'd like to know more, please feel free to contact me. I know that Don will give you my email if you ask him for it. So first of all, we do some work without a grant. Zoom training. We have trained our health boards in sub-Saharan Africa. We have 12. We've trained them to train others because we have just over 300 health facilities, staffed health facilities, to pass this message on to. But we've also trained clergy and the staff of other partners in countries like Bolivia and Brazil. Training's been in English, French, Portuguese, and Spanish, and the updated materials are found on our website. Please feel free. The Sheltering in Love grants that I mentioned have taken many forms, and I'll give you some examples. At health facilities like Grace Children's Hospital in Haiti, they specialize in chest infection, and so they requested equipment for inpatients because they're getting patients with tuberculosis, perhaps also with HIV, perhaps complicated by COVID-19. So this kind of equipment, along with masks, gloves, gowns, and training equipment. We've also funded grants that have included awareness outreaches to pass on information not only to professional staff, but to everyone in the community. So that would go to hospitals, clergy, community networks, including women's groups, sometimes by megaphone from the back of a truck, by radio, text message, poster, or sermon. Grants have gone towards hand washing stations. Part of a grant to World Hope Corps in Malawi went to buying buckets and soap for hand washing for multiple churches to meet on a Sunday and midweek to prevent transmission of the virus. grants have gone towards establishing tippy taps at multiple points in communities and hand washing stations in hospitals. Income generation has been not an uncommon request, and food assistance has been greatly needed. A grant was awarded to Hilltop UMC in Mutare, Zimbabwe, to assist the deaf and hard of hearing community, as they were the first ones to lose their jobs in the lockdown. And food assistance also went to a partner in India who were reaching out to a community of farm day laborers without any economic safety net at all. An ongoing concern in the United States is to help people to pay their rent, as this unemployment, the growing unemployment, makes the payment of rent extremely difficult, impossible. Our integrated grants are strengthening networks of community health workers, helping to equip UMC hospitals, making it possible for women and children to access health facilities by taxi, by boat, by horse, by hammock, whatever context we can work with the community on. Training health providers to make a differential diagnosis, because fever could mean COVID-19, it could mean malaria, it could mean meningitis, it could mean all three. Helping with nutrition, malnutrition amongst pregnant women and under 5 children is a growing problem in many of our projects. And so we've been funding kitchen gardens and actual nutrition rehabilitation projects. And the last one I'd like to mention is clean water for hand washing at present for COVID-19, but also along with sanitation for the long term, for interventions to prevent the devastation brought by waterborne disease like cholera that happens in so many areas each year. And so I ask once again, who is most affected by COVID-19 at this time? And in one way, I hope it might be the church, not because I want everyone to be ill, but because it is an opportunity for worship and witness. May the Lord equip us, may He fill us with Holy Spirit to be the hands and feet of Christ to so many at this time. May the Lord bless you and keep you. And thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Kathy. She indicated I would give you her email address, so she invited persons to consider asking for grants. Her Kathy Griffith is at KGriffith@umcmission.org. kgriffith@umcmission.org. So thank you, Kathy, for sharing what the church is doing in so many ways. The Center for Health and Hope, for example, has worked with local church, Park Hill United Methodist Church in Denver, asking people for $19 a person to feed a family of 5 in Kenya for 5 weeks. And as a result, $12,500 was given. So people in many ways can find different ways of responding both to HIV and AIDS.